Okay, so I was listening to C-SPAN this morning, and I have to record this and note it. I agree with what the guy said. He said that neither party should be using the suffering of the American people for their political gain. And that's what's going on. That's what has been going on with these multi-billion-dollar policy things that they've been using and doing to the American public, and then allowing their rich buddies to get in on it. And that's what they're doing, is for political gain. Both parties are allowing the suffering of the American people. And then they've involved other countries with it too. I don't agree with that. I've always said that I don't agree with that, involving other countries, but they have. But then it revolves right back on the American people too. Suffering upon the American people, especially when they just raise prices just because. That's suffering upon the American people. That's kind of the same principle that I had brought up to my divorce attorney at the time when my ex-husband was physically violent to me, because I said what he is doing is very, very similar to what's taking place with politics. And I always made that analogy. I said it's applied both directions, because with the policy, but I don't think he wanted to go in that, it wasn't something that was a discussion. It was just things I was sharing. I was sharing my personal thoughts with my divorce attorney. And I just said that my ex-husband reminded me a lot of Donald Trump. And I was calling my ex-husband Donald Trump before I even met my divorce attorney. Now, in the people were saying, well, you're not supposed to be using real people's names on the internet, for crying out loud. Well, maybe you can. Then they'd say, well, maybe you can if it's real, but you're not supposed to be using real people's names and trashing them on the internet if it's not real, and just making stuff up about them. And so I started, what I did was I started using a code word, and that was Donald Trump, because I thought, well, the things he was inflicting upon me, it's inflicting suffering. And he's done that ever since before 2020. When you have a physically violent husband, well, and then there's no help in society, what are people supposed to do?